dude?
Hey, what's up?
Can you hear me?
I can definitely hear you.
All right, for sure.
Oh yeah, that was like the quickest I've ever done these.
I was like, I haven't done this in a minute, so I was making sure that it was all set up perfectly.
Damn, this is so crazy. Usually, like people, like my cousin one time, it took an hour to try to set up.
For real?
Yeah, it was all bad. It was just on his end. He's blind, so he has problems
Oh, for sure.
with just like the simplest things. Even though like he has accessibility options, he just takes a while to do like little things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Is
we were
the
laughing
camera
about it.
good?
Yeah, everything's good. I can't see your hat though. What does your hat say?
Oh, it's
Uh,
just a horde symbol from World of Warcraft. Let me see if I can. There you go.
what up?
Sup, doggy?
Not much, man. What's new with you?
Um, well, getting back into the swing of things with ESM because I think I briefly touched on with you earlier in the week about how I was going through a breakup and some other things. And then on top of that, ESM was kind of like in the midst of am I gonna keep on doing it? Am I gonna switch it to just one sport? Or if I'm just gonna just say, you know what, we had a good run. We'll just call it a day, you know? So um after a while, I'm just like, you know what, this is something that I really want to do. So I figured I would make it into just one sport because I'm just one guy right now. And I'll branch out eventually and see if I can get other people to help me out. But for now, I'm just going to do it for myself. But just soccer. So I mean, that's really my biggest passion. And I
Oh,
think I
soccer.
touched, yeah, I touched on it. I think last time when we had a podcast, how soccer is my favorite sport.
Hmm.
Football is very close, a close second, but that soccer has my heart for sure.
Okay, I thought you were gonna do football, but yeah, okay. Well, soccer.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Or futbol, I guess, for
Yeah,
everyone else.
football. Yeah, yeah. Um, that's great. It's funny. That should be your tagline. One man, one sport.
Oh shit, I like that.
You said it. You
I
said it
li-
right now.
hey, I like it, dude.
Yeah, and then you could change the name, or you're gonna keep the name.
I'm gonna keep it ESM, but I had changed it to every single minute. I think last time I told you it was Eric, Sean, Michael.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if you're gonna change the name because yeah, they're not involved anymore, right?
Yeah. And there's no hardship between any of us. Like I'm still cool with everybody. It
Hmm.
was just, creative differences.
Right.
So as most of the time I feel like people that have like amicable splits, it's usually just creative differences from what I get.
That's good that you don't have that thing
Nah,
hanging over your head.
nah, I don't mix like I don't take anything personal, I guess I should say.
That's great. So what about you're talking about you're doing you're kind of changing it up a bit. You're doing shorts now.
Mm. Yeah, so that's kind of a continuation. So originally I decided that maybe if I'm going to do the podcast, I have to keep the channel going, but until I have a firm, solid idea and date and all that stuff to release the podcast, at least to make my channel keep on going, I've decided to make shorts, which are, I'm sure you've seen them like through TikTok and through YouTube and stuff where it looks like a motivational, like there's like a background or something, or you hear like David Goggins, like, I got freaking three broken legs and broken arm, but I'm still
Yeah,
finishing that. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know
Something,
exactly what you're talking about. I don't know what you
uh,
call that, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
those little motivational speeches. Essentially, I was like, well, I can probably do something like that with football or soccer. And so what I've been doing is getting quotes from the players, and it doesn't even matter who. And eventually, I want to make it to where it's actually like a video of the player, but that's couple months down the line. So far, it's just been like a random like scenery. It's kind of cool. It's different for sure, but it's like a different scenery in every episode or every video that I release, and it has like a quote. Usually, it's like something inspirational or whatever. But realistically, like when you type in like inspirational quotes from like soccer players or any sport athlete, it's usually the same stuff. So it's kind of hard to pick.
That's funny. That sounds good. Sounds great. Yeah. So wow. So you said your last podcast episode that you did was what, in September, November?
Yeah, it was the my World Cup predictions going from the group stages to I think the round 16, I believe. I haven't made an official one yet. This is actually my first recording a podcast since then, so that's close to like 6 months, 7 months, yeah.
Hmm. Wow.
So I'm out of season, I guess you could say.
As long as you want to keep doing it, that's great. I mean, if you want to stop too, that's fine, but keep going. You know, that's even though with like I kind of have the same attitude where sometimes I get like I feel like deflated or like non-motivated.
Hmm.
But what I'll do is um like I put out episode once a month sometimes, just like if I'm feeling like just like I was off for 2 months on baby leave and I was
Hmm.
just like not feeling it. So I would like I had all these like all these episodes I had recorded, pre-recorded, and I was slowly just kind of messing with them. And I was like, I'll put them out when I can. I was like not stressing on it.
Yeah.
And it's just as long as I keep putting them out, you know, I'm just gonna try to get to 100, and then after that, maybe just take a long break and just figure it out, or maybe just keep going. I don't know. Just depends on how I feel when I get there. But it's been forever. It's been like 3 years, and I'm at episode 47.
Hey, dude, it's for the long haul, you know what I mean? I've always from podcasts I've listened to and just audiobooks I've listened to, it seems like the common theme is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you have a inkling of quitting, not to quit, because you might be like 2 episodes from going viral or 2 episodes from like finding exactly what like the formula for your podcast or whatever you're doing.
Right.
So like during that time where I was kind of deciding what I wanted to do, um, I was listening to like a lot of audiobooks, a lot of it's so hard to say like not, oh, I'm reading books, but I'm listening to them, even
Right.
though people have different ways of consuming stuff. The audiobook, any book that I've listened to, I can still regurgitate the same thing that somebody read it. Sure, it affects the different parts of the brain, I'm sure, but it hits me the same. So, but anyways, and that was kind of one of the motivating factors for me is hearing that. And I'm like, you know what? This is definitely something that I can do and that I like to do, that I enjoy. It's a creative outlet. So I can definitely see myself doing it. And here I am I've been doing those little shorts for almost 3 months now, just like consecutively, almost every day. Sometimes I'll miss a day or two, but for the most part, I don't miss more than one day. It's usually just every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram Reels, TikTok. So I've been starting to get into Facebook Reels because apparently that's like a untapped market for a lot of people.
Oh,
So
okay.
something to look into if you end up doing shorts for stuff.
Okay. You what is your what is your TikTok and what's the ad?
So now it used to be ESM Sports, but now the tag's ESM Footy. So just it's like a slang term in England for soccer or for football.
Okay.
They just call it footy or
Is that how
so.
it is on all platforms? Like, are you on Twitter too?
Yeah. So most of my platforms is ESM dot footy or just ESM footy. Um, I'll send you the links, or I'll send you like the different ones after.
Cool. Yeah, put it in.
And I'm just gonna keep on going. Eventually I'm gonna start the podcast up again. Um, I want to start doing like outside interviews. Hopefully sometime this summer, when the sun starts coming out. It's been kind of crappy weather lately, but going out to like PB or Mission Beach or just like the boardwalk and asking people just random questions, like simple questions like who's better, Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, you know.
Oh, that'd be fun. Do you have a cameraman?
Uh I do, but he's kind of I'm not 100% yet, but
Bro,
if
do you
you're
need me?
down,
Yeah,
if you're down,
I'm so down to do that. I've always wanted like wonder what it takes to do that, and I'm sure it takes hours because I've seen a lot of
yeah,
people do that and then they do it with their phone,
yeah,
which is like that seems to be the trend. But what if we did like a professional way, like like got a real microphone hooked it up to something,
yeah. I
That'd be
mean,
kind of dope.
if you're down, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
so dope.
so like, Messi or Cristiano or is it soccer or football? And obviously, during the summertime we get like foreigners out here visiting and stuff, and hopefully I get that one foreigner that's just drunk and he just goes off on a rant or something.
Hey, you know what? That'd be great. That'd be fun to like figure because it'd be yeah, foreigners are here all the time. If you're like
Especially
keeping
down
Ocean
there in the
Beach,
beach. Yeah.
yeah, fuck, dude, yeah, and then go to the bars, like go to the breweries and just be like, it's wait outside, and just be like, hey,
Can I ask
anyone
you a
coming out?
question?
Hey, questions, real quick. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. I feel like even if you're just out there for like from noon to like 5 p.m., 5 hours, just like make it a long one, you can get so much content out of that.
But then like eventually you could get like if you save up some money and just for content, just be like, I'll give you $100 if you can answer like answer this question right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
like just some
exactly.
crazy football question, you know, and then
Yeah.
just
Like
like a reel of a bunch of people getting it wrong and then someone getting it right.
who,
If that the first person we ask gets it right, like okay, we're done.
I'm like, damn,
We
well,
only had $100.
sorry, dude. You took all our whole balance.
Right, like you're wrong, buddy. Bye.
But yeah, that's definitely um in the future. And then um I'm gonna start going to like soccer games, hopefully. I mean, we got a MLS team coming here in 2 years, so hopefully by then, and actually by then I'll be established and I'll be able to get content out there too.
Yeah, man. Just go for it. I mean, same with me. I'm by myself, so that's why it takes so long.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's possible. Just, it's just figure. I mean, you edit and all that, right? You do all the editing and all that.
Hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny because like right now we're looking at like how it's set up right now, and if we keep on doing it, we'll like eventually get better and better, and then we'll look at these episodes and we'll be like, damn, dude, look at how amateur we were back then.
I think about that about my first 10 episodes specifically. Like they're just so amateur and like I edited the fuck out of them to where like there's one. I just
Uh,
feel like I should just take it down where it's like it's so chopped up. It's like, what are we talking about?
but I like to keep them, just because it shows the growth.
Yes.
Because you're like, damn, this guy started off like this, and then look at where he's at now. Look at how ridiculous his stuff is, like how clean it is and stuff.
Right.
So it shows the progress. It's like and it kind of makes you more relatable because then people are like, damn, I can do this too.
hmm Yeah. And what's the word? Um, it's just crazy to see, like you say, the growth,
Hmm.
and like seeing the stuff and how easy it is now. Like it's a lot easier now. It's still hard, it's like just to put together an episode, but it's very, very, very. Hold on, I'm getting feedback somewhere.
Oh yeah, you're
Sorry.
good.
Um, um, it's just I noticed now how easier it is. Like there's an episode I did recently that's coming out. That's like with my cousin, my wife's cousin's husband. So he's basically like my cousin through marriage,
Hmm.
and he's super into Bitcoin, super into Bitcoin. And like that was an episode where like I just let him talk. the whole time. He just had a lot to say. And then we did like 3 hours easy. And then like it was mainly him talking. And when I went back to go edit it, like usually I'll edit out anything that's like when we use the restroom or like there's like large spaces of just pauses.
Hmm.
And I was noticing like it was nothing, like almost any nothing. Like I literally didn't have to do shit to it. So it's like, okay, it's done. I just gotta fucking fix the audio, make it better, and then just
Hmm.
I was shocked. I was like, okay, now it's like we were in a flow, and it's easier to get in a flow because I've done one with him before where it wasn't like that. It was just like, you know, just choppy and back and forth. We didn't know what to say. It was just like that's mainly what it is. Like I don't know what to say. We don't know what to talk about. But now it's just like a thing that's easier for me, a lot easier for me to just get into it, fit into certain pockets, and like like I'm not a sports guy, but I mean you're a podcaster, and I can relate to that. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
could talk about that.
Yeah. Well, and you get more comfortable talking to certain people after a while, and then like that's probably what happened with him. Where at first you're like, oh God, the camera, oh God, my voice, or and you're like super insecure about it. But then after a while, you kind of forget that there's a camera there or there's a
Mm-hmm.
microphone recording, and that's when you get the good stuff right there.
Definitely, definitely. Um, since I last talked to you, what else happened? You went to Mexico. How was that? That was a year ago now, right? A couple of years ago now.
I went to Mexico in November or September of last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a blast, man. Much needed vacation for
How long
sure.
were you out there?
We were there for like a little less than 2 weeks. I actually went to Rosarito in August for my buddy's bachelor party,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went to Mexico City, and then this is with Adrian. Do you remember Balt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Balt, and then David, and then we went to Playa del Carmen. And I had never been on the Yucatan Peninsula, like near Cancun and stuff. Dude, fucking paradise, man.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up paradise.
Hot as fuck, huh?
It was actually pretty good. There was one day where it was kind of muggy,
Mm-hmm.
and there was one day where it rained a lot. Like it
Mm-hmm.
rained like all night, pouring, bro.
Like hurricane status.
Yeah, and then the next day it was just beautiful.
It happened to us. We went to Cancun for my honeymoon years ago, and we stayed for a week. Every day it was like fucking hot, like hot.
Hmm.
So we were in the water most of the time, and so that was pretty cool to be in the water most of the time. But then the last day when we were leaving, it's like a hurricane, just like non-stop fucking raining, like heavy rain,
I
like
know.
fucking crazy ass rain, loud rain.
It's like, dude, I don't hear this shit back home.
Yeah, it was like I didn't know rain like this existed. It was really fucking crazy, and it just came
Hmm.
out of nowhere. Like it was cool, and all of a sudden, boom, it started raining out of nowhere.
Hmm.
My wife was telling me, yeah, this is like a hurricane area. I'm like, God, I didn't know shit about that.
Yeah, near the Gulf of Mexico usually. But, I had a good time. It was definitely much needed for sure. Um,
What did you do? You said Playa de Carmen. You said
mhm.
okay, okay. I've heard of that place.
Yeah, so
I didn't know it's by Cancun.
it's like an hour south of it. Um, we were gonna go to the pyramids, but I guess we didn't realize that it was like 3 and some change hours away, and we would have to take like a bus and then like or taxi to a smaller city that's nearby, and then from there you can take some buses or whatever, but or we'd have to drive back to Cancun, and there's like little tour buses that go to Chicha Itza, Chicha
Chichen
Itza,
Itza. Hmm.
Chichen Itza. Yeah, there you go. Um, I'm going back 100% to see that because I was willing to go, but everybody was hungover that day, and they're like, "Nah, dude, it's too, it's gonna be like 6 hours, 3 there, 3 back." And I was like, "Dude, I almost wanted to go by myself, but it's not really smart."
Yeah, yeah. Go back. I mean, fuck, we're young. Do it.
Yeah, I got to see that. I got to see the crater. That's
I
like
don't
the
know.
crater that killed the dinosaurs, supposedly.
It's right there in
Yeah,
Mexico.
yeah.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I gotta see that shit. So I mean,
Damn.
these history, you know what I mean? I gotta
Hmm.
see this because I've already seen the they didn't want to go to Puebla to see the um Tenochtitlan or the pyramids of the sun and the moon.
Mm.
They didn't want to see that. That was like an hour Uber drive or whatever, and they didn't want to go. I was like, I mean, I've already seen it, so um, I was fine with that. But I was down to see it again if they wanted to go, you know.
Is Bolt Mexican?
Hmm.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you
He's
maybe you were the only Mexican.
he's from Oaxaca,
Okay.
like straight up. He was born there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's more Mexican than me technically.
Yeah, I know a couple guys from Oaxaca. That's pretty deep in Mexico, I believe.
Yeah, he always gives me shit because he has the mark that's like right here that like every for whatever reason every
The shot.
Mexican has. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. My dad had that.
So he's like, yeah, he's like, you ain't got the mark, bud. You ain't real Mexican.
That's crazy. How Mexicans hate Americans. It's like, fuck, relax, bro.
I know,
But yeah,
chill,
I
right?
hear that all the time.
But yeah, I mean, technically, I'm more Spanish than Mexican. I found out with 23 and Me or whatever,
No, what a percentage are Spanish?
bro, like 66%.
And you thought you were Mexican, like mainly Mexican?
I mean, technically, I am if you like break it down, because the Spanish, came and raped and pillaged Mexico.
Okay,
But
but
yeah,
what is that? But your aunt, but for far as you know, your like grandparents, parents came from Mexico.
hmm I mean, I don't know how.
Oh,
I've never followed the lineage down, but
oh wow.
um, so I'm 66% Mexican or Spanish, 33% or it's like 30%. Um, I forget what indigenous tribe it is, but they're direct descendants of the Aztecs. And then there's like mixed in um Boesque. It's like Catalonia in Spain. And then I'm like 1% or 3% Senegalese. So I'm
So,
like 3% African.
oh, wow, damn. That's interesting.
Shot
And which company did you use? 23andMe or
23 and Me, yeah.
Ancestry? Okay.
Hmm.
I wonder which one's more because I heard that they're different. Like if you do each one, like if you do
Hmm.
like all of them, or like you get different, not different results, but you get different like words like explaining what this is. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I wonder what that is. That's interesting. Damn, that's crazy.
It's kind of cool to see, figure it
Yeah, I
out.
bet. I bet. Yeah, I've never done it, and I'm worried to do it. I'm worried I'm gonna see some fucked up shit. Like I'm fucking all European. Like what?
Dude, I thought a piece of me thought I was gonna be like Middle Eastern somewhere down the line,
Why?
but I always get it all the time at work, dude.
I do too.
Like they come up to me and they're like, you Arabic? I'm like, no, I'm sorry, dude.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you want to speak Spanish, I got you.
Yeah. Oh, you speak Spanish?
Hmm.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, uh I'd say like I'm probably like 90% fluent.
That's pretty high.
I wouldn't completely like say, oh yeah, I'm fluent, but like 90% would be the range. There's certain words I have a hard time pronouncing or I can't pronounce.
So at work, if someone comes up to me and asks if I can find someone to speak Spanish, I can find you, and you can have a conversation with
I might hide. No, I'm just joking. Yeah.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
Happens all the time, dude. And I'm like looking for somebody. I'm like, oh fuck, who speaks Spanish? And I'll go to someone that doesn't speak Spanish, and I thought they spoke Spanish, and they don't. And it's like, oh man.
And no one really knows that about me for whatever reason. They probably think I'm, what do they call them? The no sabo kids.
Like me.
They're like,
Yeah.
they're like, you speak
Yeah. I
Spanish?
mean, I didn't really think about it, but I never really thought about you
Hmm.
if you did or didn't. But now that we're talking about it, I guess I really didn't think about you speaking Spanish. But yeah, I mean,
Well, like I said,
Sanchez.
I grew up in Lakeside, so I guess my voice sounds. Someone's like, you sound like a white boy. I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
hmm Same with me. I grew up in Bakersfield and on a white part of town.
Yeah.
And same with me. Like, yeah, like that's probably why I wear people.
It's like
So
why?
people like if I shave my mustache, people think I'm white.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Like,
But
do
the
you
mustache is the Mexican indicator. Like people are like, oh, you're Mexican, and they'll start
it's
speaking
like
Spanish and stuff.
you don't have an accent. I'm like, okay, doesn't mean I'm not Mexican.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know who Melissa, she works with me in clothing.
Hmm.
She was telling me a story how she went with her husband like Tennessee or like North Carolina, I believe, or Texas, I believe. I don't know where, but she was hanging out with some people that were just staring at her, and she's like, "What's going on? Like, is everything okay?" And it turns out that they were just like they were cool with her, but they just had never seen a brown person before in their life, and they were like, "What are you?" Like they were so confused, like, "What are you?" She's like, "Oh, well, I'm like Mexican, like Mexican." And they're like, "Oh, okay, that explains it." But they were like super like amazed with her skin tone and like it's so beautiful, like they wanted
So
to touch her,
live under a rock.
But yeah, but I mean, yeah, I mean, there's people like that all day. I'm sure. Like even like my cousins from Bakersfield, from my part of town, my cousins, they're Mexican. They speak Spanish. Some of them were born in Mexico, and they went to a school called Arvin High. It's like a small town outside of Bakersfield,
Hmm.
and Arvin is all Mexican. It's like all Mexican. And the school, that's where they went to school, all Mexican. So when they ended up going to like the city, Bakersfield, and they had to see black people or Indian people, they were like, "What the fuck?" They were like if they were in prison the whole time, like looking at them like, "What the fuck?" And that's like a real thing. Like people just sometimes they're just around their own too much, especially in
Yeah.
America. In America it's weird, but in other countries it's probably normal. Chinese people in
Hmm.
China just chill. They don't really fuck around and go to fucking, you know, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like I don't know if I told you the story last time, but when we went to Italy like in 2016, same group of friends that I went to Mexico with, just not David. And I mean, obviously, Balt and I are pretty dark, I guess, in comparison to like normal Italians. And we were kind of like out of season. It was like February or something, so that's not really like a touristy part of time of the year or whatever. So we get it's like a fishing city of like five little cities called Cinque Terre, which is like five cities in Italian or five lands or whatever. And we get to one spot where it's like a city outside of the last city, and that's a ball ends up booking this place where no one speaks Italian. It's like on the outside of the last city, so it's like a really so like it's the equivalent of like wanting to stay in El Cajon, but then you book a freaking Airbnb in like Pine Valley or something. So like we're out in the sticks, right? Or at least according to the so we get to the off the train station and like everyone's just kind of like looking at us like so we have no service obviously, so we're trying to use the payphone, and then no one speaks English, mind you. So and anyone that tells you that you can use Spanish in Italy is and it's like similar, that's cap. That doesn't help.
Wow.
Yeah, so we get outside and the cops show up, bro. They ask about passports. That's the only thing I understood. They're like, something passports, whatever. So we hand them the passports. They find a taxi driver that has, I guess, knows English, right? But bro, he's does not know English at all. So I'm like, so I'm trying to like talk to him. Balt doesn't want to talk to him. Adrian's just mad. And then he's just kind of like saying like, "Oh yeah, we're just not used to seeing like people around this time of year and stuff like that." And like, I'm thinking, did they call the cops on us because we're dark? Like, I mean, I've heard Italians are racist, but
Well, wow. Yeah, I mean, you went to a place that tourists don't usually go to. Is that why?
yeah, usually, yeah.
Oh, wow. And what happened?
It was just an experience. Like the Airbnb host barely spoke English, Like it was not at all, pretty much. We could stay there. I mean, we made the best of it, right? But there was no Wi-Fi. So it was like a 2 days or like a day and a half that we stayed there and there was no Wi-Fi or anything. So I mean, us millennials are like, what the fuck are we gonna do, dude? They had a cable, but it was like all Italian TV, so I couldn't understand any of it.
No
So we
service.
no service, so we had to go back to old school. We were playing games while we were drinking wine and eating dinner and stuff. Um, like I think one of the games we played was all-time Lakers, so we just kept on going back and forth naming all-time Lakers, and then the person that couldn't name one had to do something. I don't remember exactly. It was a long time ago, but it was pretty fun. I mean, we made the best of it, right?
I didn't know you're that close to those guys.
Oh yeah,
That's
those are
cool.
my dudes.
That's really cool. Wow. Damn, that'd be crazy to be in a weird part of another country.
It's cool, and then like scary and anxious and all that, all those put together. But it's an experience because then you can be like, dude, you remember that at the time when you're experiencing it, you're like, oh, this fucking sucks, dude, whatever. But I think that's like kind of the best part is just like the unknown of like, dude, these people don't understand what we're saying. I don't even understand what they're saying. So, and you have to figure out what they're saying to you, like by just doing gestures and whatnot.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like there was a local grocery store there and we had to buy stuff for dinner and it was like we only had big bills too, which is the worst part.
Oh, dude.
I know. So like
Dude.
insult to injury. So like they didn't want to break it. And it's like, this is all we got, dude. Like, I don't,
What'd you do?
oh, we just asked somebody. I guess somebody kind of figured out what we were doing and they just gave us change. I guess they had change at their house or whatever.
What, American dollars or like
Oh no, just
pesos? Or I mean,
euros. Yeah.
euros?
Yeah. They had euros, so they were like, "Yeah, I'll be right back. I'll go get some for you." And then they helped us out, but otherwise we've been screwed.
You knew the conversion rate and everything? Like you didn't get ripped? I mean, if you even knew.
Oh no, we didn't have euro US. It was just like $500 euro or whatever.
Oh, you had large euros. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. I see. I thought you had large bill like American bills. I see.
Oh
I see.
hell no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want
That's
to
why I
try
was
to
like,
convert.
that's fucked, dude. That'd be fucked. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
what?
I was like, dude, we get gypped for sure.
Right. That's why I was like confused.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Fuck. That sounds sketchy. So would you ever do it again?
Oh hell yeah, in a heartbeat.
Really?
Yeah, in a heartbeat, dude. Um, Probably would go to a country where they speak English more. Um, I don't know if Italy's gotten any better, but they're one of the few countries in Europe that like maybe the old heads kind of refuse to learn English.
Hmm.
I know like the Scandinavian countries, they kind of not force, but they incentivize the younger generation to learn English as a second language.
Oh, really?
So it helps a lot, like in Holland or the Netherlands, Finland, Norway, Sweden, places like that, or Germany. They all speak English as a second language.
Hmm.
Most honestly, like I feel like, and it makes kind of like me like, damn, dude, I wish I knew more languages, but most of the Europeans know more than one language,
Hmm. It's a fact.
like two or three languages
That's a
sometimes.
fact. That is a fact. We went to Italy as well. 2019.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude, that's a fact. And you know what's crazy is that we went to Italy, we stayed in Florence. We stayed there for 4 days. So we stayed in Florence all 4 days, but the first day
Beautiful.
we chilled there, very beautiful. Second day we went to Venice, third day we went to Rome, then the fourth day we just stayed in Florence again.
Hmm.
But yeah, a couple places like in Rome, like they were like, fuck you. Like they didn't like us because we were like trying to speak to them. Then
Hmm.
we found out that they're really cool with Mexicans. I mean, maybe they're not cool. I mean, I don't know if how cool they are with Mexicans. I just know that they like we when we wouldn't talk, they would like ask us questions and stuff in Italian, and my wife would
Hmm.
respond to them in Spanish, and they were super cool. Like, but if they found out we're American, they were like they would kind of give us attitude, which was crazy. They're cool with Mexicans than they are with Americans over there, at least in
Hmm.
Rome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It's just because like I was thinking about this. Imagine like the people that we deal with at work and how like entitled they are and like super inconsiderate for others. Some of those people go out to different countries and they represent us as Americans, and it's kind of disgusting to
Mm-hmm.
like to be frank, like these people are the ones that make us look horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you like are just a decent human being, like you're just being a good person randomly, they're like, "Oh, are you sure you're American?" Or like, are you guys really from America?" Like, yeah, what is that even supposed to mean?
Mm-hmm. I can only imagine how bad it is. Like those people who are like, I need to speak to the manager.
Oh, and they do that
Like,
kind of stuff like in Mexico and European countries, like assuming that it's gonna work. It's like, bro, that only works in the US because we just let it happen.
mm-hmm. That's true.
It's
We shouldn't, but we do.
no, because like, the customer's always right, all they care about is profit and whatever. And it's like, it's not always the case.
Nope. Whoever made up that rule, the customer is always right, or that saying, is a fucking moron.
Well, I
Because
think
it's not true.
it was in good intentions. So like, don't like, how Costco has the policy of like never say no. Just like figure out a way to make it happen where, it benefits to both of you. Um, it's like, I get it, but sometimes you just got to put your foot down. Say, hey, this is not going to work. This is not how it's going to go down.
Mm-hmm. Very wise of you. Very wise. But yeah, I don't want to get into that.
I got you. I got you.
I do not want to get into work. Shit. Oh my
Oh, no,
God.
no, 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 not at all.
Fuck.
But I figured I would bring that up since we were
No, no,
talking about
that's very
traveling.
wise. Because I was thinking like, fuck that person who made it up. But yeah, it was probably made with the best intentions, but um, people turn that into a like a to benefit them for the wrong reasons.
Hmm.
There was one time I was working at Costco. I was also working at Pizza Hut at the time when I first
Hmm.
worked at Costco, and the one in La Mesa, and this lady came in and I was working the register and she came in like just she was upset already. You could just tell. But she wanted she's like, I need to pick up my pizza. And then I was like, she gave me her name. I went to go look for it. It wasn't there. Like her name was not there.
Hmm.
And then she's like, this is ridiculous. Like, I need to speak to the managers. So and she like pulls up her phone and like the manager's right there next to me and we're looking. And she like shows us the receipt of her order. But it's for Round Table, which is like two doors down. And I was like, I'm sorry, miss. And I wasn't at all trying to make her feel bad because I've done that before. And I told her, this is Pizza Hut you ordered from Round Table. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she was cool. Like she was very sincere, very apologetic, and she went off on her way. But like her instant rage of instant like, what? Like it was too quick. Like it was like, let's figure this out instead of like, let's not get angry first. Let's figure this out first. She was just
Hmm.
instantly went to, I need to get my way right now. Manager, bring them. And it was like that. That's the American way. I mean, unfortunately, that's the American way. That's how we were learned to get our way is to complain and throw a fit, and it sucks.
Yeah, and then some people just do it everywhere else. Like I've seen people in Mexico specifically, like they're staying at resorts or whatever, and they treat the uh people that are the servers and stuff like shit. I'm like, bro, what? It's like even okay, so even if it's all inclusive or whatever, like they're still human, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if there's one thing that I wish we could adopt from a different culture, and I mean I guess it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but the Japanese culture where they have like the collective mind of I'll use an example because I of soccer because I can relate to it. During the World Cup, the Japanese fans will stay after to pick up trash. Like
Really?
they'll ask the maintenance or like the grounds people for trash bags and they pick up trash. So this last World Cup in Qatar, a lot of fans kind of picked that up as like, oh, we should do it too. So like a lot of the stadiums were being cleaned by or Japanese fans and multiple other fans who like the away fans that were playing against Japan. So that's something like you walk down the street and that's why it's so clean in Japan. The bathrooms are clean because people pick up after themselves. And it's the collective mindset of like having pride of, of this place or where you work or whatever, or like the street that you're living on or that you're walking and having pride in your country. And unfortunately, through, quote unquote freedom, I guess. So I guess too much freedom is also a bad thing because then people are like, oh, don't pick that up. There's people that get paid for that instead of just picking it up. Like people spill stuff, don't pick it up. And it's like, why wouldn't you pick it up? It takes 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or they litter, or they like they're done eating. And I always feel so weird at those restaurants that like don't have trash cans. Or like In and Out has been doing this recently. It might be been for a while, but the last couple of times I've gone, I'll be sitting there just talking with my friends after we're done eating. And then somebody will come up and like, hey, can I throw that away for you? And I'm like kind of thrown off for a little bit because like I can throw it away. I'm just haven't gone up yet. And then I'm like, I can get it. They're like, no, 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 it's fine. Like you guys are talking, I can pick it up for you. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess. Thank you. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm a little bit like, nah, I can do it myself. I just haven't gotten up yet. We're talking, having a good conversation. So those kinds of things where it's like they make people get used to it, so they start doing it. I just feel weird sometimes where there's no like Rubio's. Some of the places don't have trash cans, so then you can't throw away your food because someone will come and pick it up.
Hmm.
And then it's like, do I leave a tip?
Right.
You start thinking all these kinds of other stuff, and it's like in other countries they don't have tips either. They don't
Hmm.
do that.
Hmm.
And in America, it's like that's the only place, one of the few places that does it. Oh, and then Mexico too. But
In Italy, there's places when we were eating at places, there was a lot of like in Venice, they had a lot of restaurants with signs on the outside that says "Do not tip us," "Don't
mhm,
tip us." Like it was like a rude, like it's
yeah,
rude over
hmm
there if you tip them.
yeah,
It's like okay, I'm so used to tipping, it's like weird not to tip.
yeah. And it's like a thing in Europe too to like pay an exact change.
Hmm.
And I've noticed that like a lot of people that are not American or that are from a different country, they pay exact change. And here it's like, just give me a 20, dude. Give me a 10 and I'll give you the change back. But in Europe, they're like, you want to give them the 20 euros, even though it's like 15 euros or whatever. It's like 15, 20. They're like, just give me 15 with the 20 piece. And you're like, I don't want to dig in my pocket for the change, but they do it. So that's just like different cultures. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's like, here, just give them a 20.
Where else have you been?
I'm just there, dude. Mexico. I, s- I don't, I mean, I've technically been to Russia and Norway through layovers, but not any,
Oh,
I don't count it,
right,
but I definitely want to do more traveling, before I can't anymore.
right.
I was planning on going to, doing a Euro trip with some friends, during COVID, or it was 2020, but this is before COVID. And I was going to go to Oktoberfest and all that, but it ended up killing our plans, which I was honestly pretty devastated.
Damn.
Yeah, because I was pretty stoked.
Oktoberfest in Germany.
Hmm.
Whoa, that'd be really fun to go to.
Hmm.
Damn, they heard they get down over there.
Oh
They
yeah,
drink beer like motherfuckers over there. Like they drink beers.
they get down, dude, for sure. They have
Yeah,
those big like liter um mugs and everything. The
Das
Steins.
Boot. You ever
Yeah.
seen a beer fest?
Oh fuck yeah.
Das Boot.
You are swine. You're all swine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'd be
Or
fun.
yeah, I was gonna see them, dude. Unironically or ironically, it's my favorite
Oh,
soccer team. Oh, sorry. Uh, my favorite soccer team. They have a game. I think the day before they do the like traditional. I don't even know what you call it. The corking of the beer or whatever, where they take a fountain and they like get a sledgehammer and you just freaking pound it into the barrel. And then they do the first pour of the beer for Oktoberfest. It's kind of cool.
hello, listeners. It's Germany Munchen. I say it.
Bayern Munich, or the
Munich. It's
yeah,
Munich.
the German way is
Munchen. I've heard that.
Munchen, but English like translation is Munich.
Munich.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
That's your favorite team.
oh, dude,
Really?
by far.
I thought it was Mexico for some reason.
Oh, the international, yeah,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah. But for club play, that's my favorite team. I can go. I've said it before in another podcast, but basically, I was watching Mexico play Germany in the 20 2005 Confederations Cup. I think it was in Germany. And I saw a player that Mexico was playing against Germany, and his name was Bastian Schweinsteiger, and he had silver hair. And I liked how he played. He was just like all over the field. And that's kind of how I play, like just playing defense, playing offense, like trying to, just trying to help the team however you can. So then I Googled him and found out what team he was playing for. And he plays for Bayern Munich. Oddly enough, I'm wearing his jersey right now. But that became my favorite player. That was like the origin story of my favorite player.
Wow.
And then I ended up going for the team, and then I found out that like at the time they had like pretty much the whole team was like international stars in their own countries, like a little bit of Italy, a little bit of Brazil, Argentina, Germany, all over. It's kind of cool. France.
Okay. That's cool. So who'd you watch today?
Uh,
Or
Mex
was
Mexico and the US played at 7. Then I watched earlier in the morning Spain and Italy. The Spain and Italy game was kind of boring. Um, Spain ended up winning 2-1, but then Mexico, dude, it's probably the worst I've ever seen them play in like the last 5, 6 years. It was pretty bad, dude. They lost 3-0, and it 3-0 sounds pretty bad, but just watching them play, it was way worse than that. There was like 4 red cards, 3 red cards or something. It was a bloodbath.
I went to my father-in-law's, or I was in went to go drop off my mother-in-law.
Hmm.
Oh, she had to be staying with us all week. And when I were dropping her off, my father-in-law was watching the game. He was watching. I knew it was Mexico with somebody. I didn't know who they were playing though.
Yeah, they looked like shit, dude.
It's
It
hilarious.
it was sad
Yeah,
because
my
I
wife is really into Mexico, but yeah, she gets pissed when they lose. She got mad when they lost the World Cup.
yeah, that was pretty sad. I'm like, it's tough being Mexican American because like your whole family is from Mexico usually, at least first gen, right? So you grow up going from Mexico, but then like as you get older, and it's like a big rivalry, the US versus Mexico,
Right.
because like geopolitically, it's just like they're right next to each other, and then politics are kind of involved, and whatever. And as I got older, it's like I go for the US and all the other sports, but like for whatever reason in football or soccer, I go for the US if they're not playing Mexico, but there's just something deep rooted into me since I was a kid where I can't. I have to go for Mexico. It just doesn't feel. I mean, I go for the US anytime, any other time, like when they're not playing Mexico. And someone always asked me, so if they were playing in like the World Cup final against each other, who would you go for? And I was like, dude, Mexico, like without hesitation. I couldn't tell you, dude. It's just a feeling.
That's interesting.
And it's funny because there's a lot of people that don't have that same connection to their heritage, I guess that would be the right word. Because I have friends that are like German by their parents, but they go for the US wholeheartedly for everything. And I would assume that you would probably go for Germany because like his dad goes for Germany. He watches the US too, but his dad watches Germany. So I would assume that he would go and he's like, no, dude, I'm American, man. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because we're like right here. Like, Mexico's like just 20, 30 minutes down the freeway from me. And I just can't, dude. When they play each other, obviously.
Right.
But any other time, it's US all the way.
Right. Hey, man. I see that. I can see that. My cousin's like that. He's super into Mexico, like super. He's the guy who was born here, but he rocks the Mexican flag on his car. It's like he's
Hmm.
that guy where he's just like all about Mexico, even though he's like barely goes there and they don't like him when he goes there. Like he tells me
Yeah.
stories about how like he hasn't been there. He used to go there a lot when he was a kid,
Uh-huh.
but now when he goes, he rarely goes. When he does go, it's like you know, he doesn't speak Spanish right. Like he speaks Spanish, but he doesn't speak it like the natives. So he's like he stands out, and they don't like him. Like they don't like they won't accept him. They treat
Yeah.
him differently, and he hates it. But it's like, dude, I mean, what do you expect? You're American. You know, can't expect to be. I already know that how it is. Like even here, like Mexicans hate me. They fucking hate me. Like real Mexicans, like because I don't speak Spanish. They'll like
Hmm.
speak to me in Spanish, most of them. And then so I'm sorry, I don't Spanish. And they look at me, they think I'm fucking lying to them. So they're just like, ugh, and walk away, like pissed. But I'm like, dude, I'm being honest. I'm not like being a dick.
They have um a slang name. It might be a curse word, but it's pocho.
Ocho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been called that many times.
I've been
And it's
called that
fine.
too. I've been
It's
called
fine.
that too. And then I speak Spanish to them and they're like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
It's like, dude, I can speak Spanish. I just, sometimes I choose not to.
mm-hmm.
If they're being like rude or something, and then they ask if I can speak or like hablas español, I'm like, I don't, sometimes I won't
Right.
because it's like you're being rude. How am I gonna like make you feel comfortable if you're being rude to the cashier or to whoever around me? I'm like, nah, I don't. And if I hear them talking shit, I will. 'Cause sometimes they don't think they're like, oh, I don't. He kind of looks Arabic, maybe American. They hear me talk, they don't think I'm Mexican, and I was like, "Tiene buen día," and they're like, "Oh fuck, you heard all this shit I was talking."
That's funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny sometimes. And then they just like, and then I was like, yeah, they were talking mad shit, but it's all good. I'll tell that to like whoever, if I'm assisting or something.
That's funny.
Uh-huh, honey.
So how you been with just your apartment and stuff? You still in Tierra Santa?
Yes, sir.
Still in that same spot?
Hmm. So I could see myself settling down here, honestly. Like, I mean, obviously, if I can afford it, housing's going crazy right now. Apartments skyrocketing, price, rent, all that stuff, mortgages.
Yeah. My neighbor came up to me the other day. He's telling me in these condos we're in. You know where Lit is at? in La Mesa, lit, like the
Uh,
weed spot.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I live like right behind it.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
the condo is right next to it. And my neighbor was telling me that he's been living here for 11 years, and he got a call the other day saying that the owners were telling him that he needs to move out because they're selling it. So he has 2 months, and he's like tripping. He has two daughters. One of them is in college.
Hmm.
The other one was going to start Helix like this next semester, this fall.
Damn.
And he's like, "Fuck, dude! Like he's trying to find someplace close because his daughter is about to start high school again.
Hmm.
He just want to move her. It's just he's going through a hard time. And he's like, it's been 11 years since he's been looking,
Hmm.
since he was looking for an apartment.
Dude.
And so he's like stressing, like, dude, it's crazy now. I go, yeah, dude, because I was telling him we've just got this place a year ago, so it was like we got lucky, but it was like a fucking. I remember I was telling you it was a fucking mess. It was a hassle just to fucking find this place. It's
Hmm.
crazy. But we got lucky, man. We got lucky. I feel bad for him, but it just sucks. It just sucks how everything is, the housing and shit.
I just don't see it getting any better.
Mm-mm.
Like I don't get it.
Yeah, do I? I don't get it. And then like they're building these new condos right next door, and they started off with advertising like low 600,000s, and then all of a sudden now they're high 700s. Like that's what they are now. Like this is only like a
Jesus,
year. In a year's time, they jumped like $150,000.
that's wild. Are they built already?
Some of them are. They're still working on a bunch, but it's like half of it's done, half of it isn't,
Hmm.
and people are living in them already. The ones that are done, but they're still working. Still mad construction every day. Well,
That's
every
wild.
day. Like there's no days off. Like Saturday, Sundays, they're still working, or it's another crew or something. But there's constantly working on. There's always work going on right there every day.
I wonder what they're gonna do with the Parkway Mall.
What do
Because
you mean?
like Regal Cinema, I think it's Regal in there. I heard that it's closing down.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can confirm that, but I think I saw an article saying that just they're not making enough money.
Dude,
I think that's what I read. I could be wrong, but
that's like literally the middle of the fucking mall.
I know. And I mean, if you look at that Parkway Mall, like, dude, there's so many stores closed, dude.
Right. I noticed that the other day.
It's like a ghost town.
Macy's, that was like the big one. That's huge. That's like the whole one side of it.
I was at, I think, Fashion or Mission Valley. I don't remember which mall around there. And it was like mid Saturday. It was dead, bro.
Damn.
And I remember I was like, dude, it was popping. Like when I was in, middle school, high school, even like my early 20s, the mall was like the place.
Really? You were there on a Saturday and was dead?
I mean, what I would consider dead anyways.
Damn. But you know what's crazy is now that you're talking about that, when I first moved to San Diego in 2010, Horton Plaza was popping.
Really?
Remember Horton Plaza?
Yeah.
Did you never went there and it was popping?
I haven't gone in years, but I
But would,
do.
when you did go, was it popping? Like was it like
Oh, it
the
was packed, dude. That whole
right,
parking structure was
right
just,
now it's like where the homeless go and it's like it's empty and ghost town.
mhm. Well,
Horton
downtown
Plaza
is a
downtown.
shambles.
Right. Which is that was the first thing for me where I was like, whoa. Like my cousin was the one who pointed it out because he doesn't live here. But we went there one time and then we went there again recently. And he's like, dude, was this the same place? I go, yeah, it's the same place. But it's just like he remembers like Sam Goody. Like, it was like,
It was a
like it
good, yeah.
was it looked nice, but now it's all different, scattered. Yeah, like we went to that Starbucks. There's like a Starbucks right there on the corner. And yeah, it's like a little Starbucks like truck, like a food truck. It's not even like you can't go in or nothing. It's just like you sit outside.
Hmm.
It's like a little building with two people in it, and they're just making Starbucks for everybody. And like, there's homeless all in that fucking area, like just like all on those tables. That's supposed to be people drinking coffee, just homeless chilling. It's like fuck, dude. But yeah, dude, Parkway. I didn't realize it until you said it. Parkway's dead. I went there the other day. I went there because there used to be a McDonald's inside right there.
I
And
remember that.
I went there to go get to that McDonald's and it's gone.
Yeah.
Not there anymore.
No, hot dog on a stick is gone too.
Right.
That was like the staple. There used to be a Panda Express. I don't think it's there anymore. I don't remember.
Maybe not.
A Sabario. I think that's still there actually. And then the Genghis Kong, like the Mongolian food. That place was legit, dude. That was fire. It's not there anymore.
Damn. Yeah, it's definitely changed, which is kind of crazy because that's where and that's another thing. That's the only Parkway Plaza is the only place where I can think of there's a Best Buy near me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there used to be a Best Buy in La Mesa. They took that out. And it's a grocery store now. I forget what it's called. That
Aldi.
bamboo sushi?
Is it Aldi?
No, it's called Fraser Farms.
Oh, okay.
And then the one in Santee's gone. The
Mm-hmm.
Best Buy in Santee's gone. So like the only Best Buy we have now is um that I go to that I know to go to is Parkway. But there's one in Mission Valley too, but I don't really go there. I don't even know
Dude,
it's there.
it's crazy. Like online, it's crazy how like everybody was super like sketched out about online shopping. And then I don't even know what year it just flipped, like a switch flipped, and then everyone's just like, oh, online shopping is so much easier.
Right. Well, that's like the main thing I think. That's the main reason I think Fry's went out of business.
Mm-hmm.
Like all that shit
100%.
all that shit I used to get at Fry's. I used to get like little weird cables and shit. Like, oh man, I never see like I would go to the cable aisles, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I need this cable and I've never seen it. Like I don't, you can't get it at Best Buy. You can't get it. It's like a random weird cord. And now I do that with Amazon. Like I'll just go to Amazon and look for it. Like a 10 foot long like iPhone cord.
An
Like
obscure thing, yeah.
you know like I'll buy those on Amazon now. But I used to buy those at Fry's. Like, oh, it's a 10 foot long charging cable. Like dope. I could be like laying in bed far. You know what I mean? Like I was all excited for that little dumb shit.
I
But yeah.
think Fry's screwed up, kind of similar to how Toys R Us did, where they didn't think the online, like, oh, dude, everyone wants brick and mortar shop, you know? And it's like, we don't need to focus on online stuff. And also not having name brands,
Mhm.
they they focus more on like third or fourth uh brands or like Chinese brands or whatever. And it just went out of business because of that.
Mhm.
It's like Costco needs to step their game up on the online game because their website is absolute ass.
Oh, he definitely is. But that's what I think is working for them, which is I don't mean it's not working for them, but their benefit is a lot of old people go to Costco and they're the people who want to fucking like touch and look because a lot of the people they get mad whenever like especially like in clothing like there'll be
Mhm.
like somebody who comes up and is like, hey, do you have this in like a size 40 42? And we usually don't have big sizes like that or like really small sizes for men or women, but men especially they'll ask and I'll no, we don't care. It's rare that we get those sizes in. And they're like, oh, what am I gonna do? And I go, well, I know for a fact from what people tell me, they have those sizes online. They do. Like just it's just there. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to have to order online. You know, they
Mhm.
really say that to me. Like they get mad when I refer to them to online, and it's like, okay, well then Costco's got that going for them because these people are coming inside because they want to look and touch and grab. But that's going to run out one day. That's definitely going to run out one day. There's the Costco audience is going to be more younger. You know, once all these old people are gone, it's going to be a different crowd. They're going to be like, no, do that. Or why would I go pick up a fucking couch when I can just have them delivered to my fucking house?
Mhm.
You know, but all these people are like this old person the other day was like, do you have a measuring tape? I want to make sure this fits in my car. And he's like all worried, like, I don't think it's gonna fit. And I told him, hey man, if you buy it online, they'll deliver it right to your house. You know, and there's even like I believe there's an extra thing, right, where you can pay and they
There
put it
used there
together
used
for you.
there used to be.
Not anymore.
Mm-mm.
Let's see,
I
I'm learning from you right now.
I only
Don't
know
tell me.
that. Yeah, I only know that because they pushed it when I was in majors, and I guess this is me assuming there's probably like some liability thing. Someone probably got hurt or something.
Mm-hmm.
or like damage something in their house or whatever, and they're just like, you know, it's not worth it.
So there's not that deal anymore. Okay, so I won't offer that. But yeah. So I like to tell them like, dude, just order it online. But they're like, no. One day it's gonna end. That's gonna end. One day there's gonna be a new crowd of people who are gonna be like, fuck it, send it to my house. I don't because I do that all day with shit. Like the other day I was doing a podcast and it was the Bitcoin one, and
Hmm.
we were gonna do it face to face on my couch. And I had everything all set up. I had an hour and I still didn't have shit done. I was like stressing, sweating. But one of the things he wanted to do was drink beer when we are chilling. And I'm like, dude, I don't have beer. So I did GoPuff. You ever heard of GoPuff?
Mm-mm.
It's like Uber Eats, but for like drinks and like stuff from the convenience store. It's called GoPuff, where you just it's an app, you get on it. What do you want? Boom, boom, boom. I bought all this beer. I paid like $10 extra for delivery, but it's like, dude, it's worth it right now because I'm fucking busy. And it'd be
Hmm.
great if someone just brought it to me. It's cold, you know what I mean? Ready to go. Sure enough, they did that. They checked my ID at the door. I already paid on the app, tipped them, boom, thank you. And boom, that was one less thing I had to do is go out and go have to buy shit. You know what I mean? Like it was right there, boom, ready to go. And that's something that like I don't mind paying for that service. I don't mind paying extra for that service. But some
Hmm.
people, the older crowd, mainly they're like, no, 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 I'll do it myself. But pretty soon it's gonna run out. Like there's gonna be this new wave of people who are like, fuck it, yeah, buy it online, fuck it,
Yeah. Instacart is flying right now because of it.
right? It's a new thing. I mean, people really, especially probably the richer people who have more money, like fuck it, just do it,
You know
do
what
it.
I don't understand? How Costco hasn't um like cut out of like basically doing their own Instacart.
They that would be a business move. They're probably thinking about it right now,
I would assume. If not,
right?
hey, hit me up
Hey,
10%.
right? Hey, that's a real service that I think, and that's a huge because you
Oh
have to
yeah.
hire more people.
And okay, so how about you get that if they like the membership, they get the executive. It's like a prime membership essentially. So then they get like free delivery online or something. I don't know. Make an incentive to sign up for executive.
Dude, Pat came to us the other day, and in the morning merch meet, he had a meeting, mandatory meeting,
Hmm.
and basically he said like, um, that's the new thing where they're gonna put up like a suggestion box
Hmm.
for us, employees to put in like just some suggestions. Because did you hear about Trent? What Trent did?
Hmm.
So Trent in Delhi.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's the reason why they're opening this up, this new suggestion box, because Trent, uh, I guess, once he went to Delhi, he was bothered by the fact that when you make the meatloaf, you have to put it to shape it. You put it in this plastic piece, then you cook it, and then you throw that. So you put in the plastic piece, you mold it, you throw it on a pan, you throw the plastic piece away, you cook all the meatloaves, and every day there's 36 meatloaves. That's all there is. Every day there's 36 meatloaves. They bring them out, they put them in another plastic container, the one that you buy, and then they're you sell it.
Hmm.
Put it with all the fixings and stuff. And Trent went and told somebody, or I don't know how they implemented it, that he's like, why do we waste that first plastic? Like it's like 36 pieces of plastic is getting thrown away. Turns out they're like, okay, well, what do you recommend? He recommended they get like a silicone tray. They put basically they use a silicone tray. They reuse, they rinse,
They can clean it.
clean,
Yeah.
and that's the new thing where it's a recyclable. You use it over and over again. And because he had this idea and it's working, I guess like a region in Georgia and a region somewhere else are doing that too. And because they're not using those extra, all these Costco's aren't using those extra 36 pieces of plastic. They're not wasting that. They're not having to order it. They're not having to recycle it. They're not having to waste it. Time, probably too. You're wasting pay. You're saving payroll, whatever.
Hmm.
He's saving the company millions of dollars just by
Some
him and
small
those
tweak.
two other regions. If all the Costco's got on board, they could probably save billions. And that's why they praised him. They gave him we gave him an applause, like good job, Trent. So that's why they're opening up a suggestion box for us to put in suggestions, and your suggestion should be put in that box. Let's do our own Instacart, Insta Costco.
Yeah, delivery service. And I
Give me
mean,
credit for the name, Insta Costco,
a lot of young kids would probably be down to drive.
dude. That's like so many jobs you'd open up for Costco.
Hmm.
You know,
It's something simple, dude. All you do is put your headphones in and you shop for people.
yeah, dude. Load up the fucking truck. Boom.
I even thought about telling them to do like a transit van and just, a lot of people always ask for delivery. Guarantee you people would pay for that service too.
Like what? Like furniture?
Yeah, furniture, TVs, all that shit. There's like, do you guys have delivery service? Did I hear that shit all the time, bro? It's like, yeah, you have to pay for insurance or whatever. Just make sure you hire somebody that doesn't suck at driving.
Yeah,
'Cause, like, I mean, I'm sure the sales you miss from those kinds of things will cover the cost of the insurance.
yeah. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows what's stopping it from doing that? Because there's a lot of things like that that I wonder. I wonder why they do certain things and why they don't.
Yeah.
I really wonder that, but it's like one of those things where I'll never be part of that circle.
Hmm.
I wish I was, but I wish I
It,
could like see
in the know.
like fly, be a fly on the wall and like understand why. Because I'm sure there's a really good reason, but when they bring it down to us, these little ideas, it's like, why do we have to move this table? Like we have to move tables. Like, like, in your area, we have those clothing tables.
Hmm.
There's some days we're like, oh, we don't like it. We gotta move it. Like, why? Oh, just because we got it. But what's the reason? They won't give you a good reason. You'll be like, well, it's because see how it's like sticking out, and they didn't like how we had three tables all the same, but they didn't like how when you walk in there's that big gap. So that's why they had us do those two more tables. So it's
Yeah.
longer, so it feels less space when you walk in. But it's like, okay, but it looks like shit. It looks stupid. Clothes right there looks stupid in the fucking first place. So when you walk in, you see fucking clothes. I think it looks dumb. But that's just me because you're just throwing people off. Because a lot of times people come and are looking for certain clothings that are in the book, like in the coupon book,
Hmm.
certain clothes, and they're talking to us in the clothing section, and then we have to tell them, oh, it's in the front when you walk in. Like, what? They didn't see it. They just walked right past it,
Hmm.
you know? But they're looking for that same product. They just walked in and missed.
Um, on a different, not to cut you off, but on a different note, I've got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Uh, have you thought about like just asking random people just to interview them?
Yeah, actually, someone told me that the other day that I should do that. Why?
Just I figured because like that's just more content for you and more branches to branch out. Because like I know if some random person asked me to be on a podcast, I would tell everybody, "Oh, dude, I'm on a podcast." Why not?
I'm just worried about the problem that people don't want to be on a podcast, and I'm going to run into a lot of those people. I'm just worried about that.
They don't
Pessimist.
want
I'm
to.
a pessimist. I run into a lot of people who I'm like, hey, I want to interview you. They're like, nope, I don't want to be interviewed. I'm like, okay, got you. My bad.
Oh, well, just say no. It's all right.
Right, but that's why it's like if you ever watch my podcast and you watch like the names, it's like
Yeah,
consistently kind of the same people, like
yeah.
you over and over again, Darren over and over again, because it's like I know you guys are into it. A lot of people in my circle aren't into it. Like my brother, he's someone I've been wanting to interview for years. He
Hmm.
doesn't want to do it, but it's like he is fucking interesting as fuck. Like one time I called him just to talk, and I swear if I would have had some of our moments that we've had already on camera, it would be fucking hilarious. Like there was one part time I called him, and he's like, "What's up, man?" He sounded like pissed. I'm like, "My bad, I called the wrong time." He goes, "No, you're good, man. I'm just trying to fucking start my car, so and I'm having a hard time." I'm like, "All right, my bad." This fool, I didn't realize. I'm like, "What's wrong with it?" He's like, "Well, I have to fucking. He has a breathalyzer, but he had been drinking, so he's like
Hmm.
trying to wait till he's like waiting for his so he can drive again.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he can't drive. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking dumbass. And then we're like in the middle of talking, and then all of a sudden it starts. He starts his car. He's like, okay, I
He's
have to
like, let's
go.
go.
And then yeah, he's all excited and shit. It's like, dude, what the fuck kind of like life are you living to where you have a breathalyzer on your car, you know what I mean? Like, and you're fucking it's just crazy, dude. Some of the conversation we get into.
You should hype him up.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to crack him, but there's a lot of other people like that where they're just not down. Or like some of the people that are really funny. Like there's this one guy Norris that I interviewed. He doesn't respond to me at all. Like he ghosts me all the time. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's mad at me. He's mad at the podcast, or I don't know why he would be, but he just will not reply to me. It's
How
crazy.
like high up would you be willing to interview
In what way? What do you mean?
at work?
In what way?
Just to have him on the podcast to talk and
Well,
bullshit.
I've had a manager on the podcast before.
It's like anonymous.
No, he's on
Oh, it
Johnny Long.
was. Oh
Johnny.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But dude, come on, man. Johnny's super chill. You know what I mean? Honestly, I forget sometimes that he's a manager.
He's a really good manager.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind interviewing anybody, but it's just up to the content and what if they're down.
yeah. I know Johnny's a manager, but like I think that's what makes him such a good manager because it doesn't even seem like he is, but he is.
Right. But he's a really
Yeah, because like I know
yeah,
there's some people that have that,
and
like,
that's
oh,
something that I was
I'm a
like telling him,
manager.
like, are you sure you want to do this? Because I was worried, like other
Yeah,
managers would like outcast him or make him feel less or do something to him about it, like reprimand him or something. He's like, nah, dude, I don't give a fuck. I was like, he kind of said he didn't say that in those words, but he basically was like, nah, dude, it's fine. Like I'm
yeah.
supporting you. Like he basically was his whole reason for doing it is he's supporting me and he wanted to support me. And I'm like, dude,
And
awesome.
dude,
Hell
it was
yes.
an amazing conversation.
And I'm trying to get him too. But it just we can't our schedules can't.
Yeah.
He's always so busy, me too. Especially with work, dude. I feel bad for him. He has to work
Hmm.
constantly. He's working a lot. Like sometimes all week. He doesn't get days off.
That's wild.
But I'm like, what are you asking about? Like who are you trying to get? You have someone in mind?
There's a few people that seem interesting. He's not even a manager anymore.
Oh, I forget his name.
Franco.
Franco.
I mean, he was in the military, so I mean, he probably can go. He's probably got stories for days. I've had good conversations with him just in the brief time that I get to talk to him,
Really?
and he's super chill. So I think that would be a good one.
He is really chill. I met him when he first got there. I mean, I talked to him a lot when he first got there. Like for the first that one day, we were talking a lot.
Hmm.
But I just never had a chance to like actually chop it up again with him, and we kind of just like
Yeah,
now
he
we don't.
works morning. You work
I never
mornings,
see
and
him. Yeah.
he seems like he
Um.
would be chill.
Yeah, I've always wanted to interview Victor just to figure out like because I know we had some really good conversations where he's very good at business
Yeah. Oh,
and
for sure. I've had conversations with him
yeah,
about that
and
kind of
so
stuff.
that's something that I've always thought we could have. You can hold a conversation about that because I have a lot of questions. Because he does like the Airbnb thing,
Yeah.
and I've always wondered about that. Like what happens if they trash the place, and what happens if this happens, and I never knew. And I was asking him questions, and he was giving me like real answers. Oh well, it's real simple. You just do,
Hmm.
because he's like he does them in Mexico, and I'm like, you're not there, so like, what if they trash it? And you would never know. And he's like, well, we hire a cleaning crew, they come in, and then we pay them extra to like actually like look at stuff and like make sure things aren't damaged or like they try to fix something all wonky, like they
Yeah.
hire people to go in and actually like look, like make sure there ain't some bullshit going on that they try to hide or whatever.
Hmm.
I thought that was very interesting. I go, that makes sense. That makes sense. But I always wondered like stuff like that. So like he was someone that I know, but I don't know if you like I don't know if you do this. I don't know if you want to be on, out in the open on blast like that. But maybe. And one of the things I've always told people like as a like for Johnny as an incentive is I can change your name. Like and you have to be, your real so he's Johnny Long. and Mr. Hill. He's another one I interviews from work. He wants to be anonymous, so he calls himself Mr. Hill.
Uh-huh.
So it's like stuff like that, where it's like some people want to be anonymous, some people don't. Like you're the one who's like, you're one of the ones who's like, I don't care, put my name on it. Like, I don't give a fuck. I want my name out there. Bosch is another one who's like, I don't give a fuck, put my name out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is like, cool. Whatever you want to do, whatever makes it more comfortable for you, because I just want to have content, and I want to be able to talk, and I want to be able to people to see our, because it's like these are the kind of conversations we have at work, but we have to break it up,
Get
because
work done. Yeah.
we got to go get work done. But that's what I'm trying to bring to you. Conversations that we actually have at work that we just can't have. We want to have, but we don't have.
Hmm.
About our lives, about what we're doing. How we want to be successful in these other ways. So I'm down. I'm always down to interview anybody. So if you have someone in mind, good stuff. If you
There,
have someone
there's
in mind,
yeah.
let me know. Maybe we could figure it out
There's
together.
a lot of people in majors that I would want to have, like, I mean, I always have deep conversations with them, so I would assume that they would be interesting on a podcast.
Who?
All of them.
Yeah,
Like,
Justin. Me and Justin get along well. We talk a
yeah,
lot.
Justin would be a very good one. Like that one, he could probably get like super deep into a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Hoops would be a good one too, if you're close to him or not. I'm not sure.
I talk to him. He's cool, but we don't talk a lot. But yeah, we haven't talked a lot in a while.
Yeah, he's super interesting, especially now that he's married and stuff. Like
Right.
he can talk about like how his life has changed in that time frame. Um, there's Brad likes music a lot. Very dude, I've had some of the most intellectual conversations with Brad.
Really.
Bob's had stories like just when he's younger, his military days. Like, dude, he's got stories, bro. Like stories.
Really.
Yeah, man. They got story like they can go. I mean, I'm not in majors anymore, but like I work there every so often. And but when I was there, that's all we did. Like there's so much downtime sometimes, so you just like chit chat for a little bit, have like an
Mm-hmm.
hour conversation. A member comes by, stop for a little bit, then continue.
That's cool. I didn't know Bob was in the military.
Hmm. Sal's got good stories. I've talked to Michaela before, and Jeff's pretty quiet, but once you get past his quiet, and he gets to know you, he's a little bit more, he becomes a little bit more open.
Who's Jeff?
Uh, he's got a beard. Um, he works usually afternoons.
Cool. I know Jeff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know Jeff. Yeah.
yeah. He's a little bit more reserved, but once you start to like, he opens up to you. He has a lot of stories and good conversation.
Interesting.
And it's funny because like a lot of people are like, "What do you guys do over there?" I'm like, "Dude, we just talk bullshit."
Yeah, I noticed that. You guys are supposed to not do anything else, huh? You're supposed to focus on the members.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed that you guys just stand there you're like military, like the or
Just
like
kind of
the
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
hand
you guys are
behind the
standing
back, or
you can't really do like you're not supposed to do anything. You're supposed to just stand there.
yeah,
And it's kind of yeah, you could see it's like very like that the guards the king, like
hmm.
that, like where it's like
Oh
you're
yeah.
just like standing there like just like focused, like yeah. I noticed that a lot. Yeah, every
Mikey's
talk's cool.
not Mikey's not in majors anymore, but he's a good conversation too.
Oh yeah, Mikey, yeah. Mikey talks a lot, actually. Too much
He's
sometimes.
probably got some good stories like
No, he
going down to
definitely does.
Mexico and stuff.
We've talked. Oh man, I remember when I first worked there, he was like the guy I would talk to all the time. Like all the time. He was like the main guy I would talk to when I first worked there. And he would just be like picking my brain. Like I would assist for him and he'd just like ask me all these questions. I'm like, dude, who are you? Like, why are you stressing me out right now? Because I was
Yeah.
like seasonal. So I was like, is this part of the test? Like
He's breaking you
like do I
down,
have
trying
to
to
be
find you
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. Do I have to yeah. Like that's all your questions? What the fuck? Like, I was all like nervous and shit. But he's a really good guy. I like him. Um uh but yeah, man, that's crazy. You're making me think about Bob about that. I like that military stuff. I like to hear that story, all those stories, because it's I don't know, it was different back then, especially for him. I bet you.
Oh yeah.
It's way different back then than it is now. But yeah, man, I'm so down to interview anybody. I just don't know. Like, I'm trying to set up some for some people right now at work, but we'll see how that works. Some new people, but I don't know how that's gonna work because a lot of these people want to be anonymous, and that's fine. But people from work watch it, so it's like that's what they're kind of like. They step back from it, like you know,
I had gone like I guess like with the random ideas of like this is before I started the sports one of like doing kind of like a jailhouse type podcast where you would interview people in prison or in jail and kind of get their story and like almost, I don't know. I mean, and eventually, try to get like a spicy one, like a mass murder or something and try to pick their brain. It'd be very interesting. And I know like a lot of people are into like murder mystery and shit.
oh yeah, that's like the huge trend right now, like
Yeah.
murder podcasts and
You know what
stuff.
would be wild if you interviewed like somebody that was like in jail or whatever, and like you just in conversation, they just fucking like admit something and like your dude, your shit goes viral because of that. Cause like, oh, he admitted this and that, like unintentionally, but then you release the podcast and somebody's like doing this case study or whatever, and they hear it and they're like, dude, we've been trying to break this case for forever. This guy won't talk, and for whatever reason, he spilt the beans with this guy. Be interesting. I don't know, just an idea.
What if um you and I like try to figure out the best way to interview that lady who killed Selena Yolanda? She gets out next year.
Dude, she about to get, dude. I don't even
We
think
should
she'll survive, man. She got
we
the
should
green light
we got to interview her. We got to
before she
interview her
dies.
before she dies. It's a ticking time bomb. We have a time limit. We have to hurry up and interview her before next year.
Shit, you got fit.
I think that'd be funny. That not funny, excuse me. Fun. That would be a fun interview because of the fact that like no, I don't think when people do interview her, but she's like I don't know how to explain it, dude. It's a I don't know. I think it's an interesting story.
Kind of fucked.
Very interesting story because they don't tell you everything that happened. I read a book that was um, what really happened, and it was all fucked, bro. Like I don't know if you know the story of Selena.
Um,
Like it was all fucked.
Bits and pieces, but like out the mainstream story, I guess,
Well, like Yolanda was the
like the bookie or the bookkeeper or whatever.
she was the president of the fan club, so she would like
Mm,
anytime a fan wanted a picture or a signed autograph picture or like a T-shirt, she was like in charge of that, the merch.
mhm,
And money went missing. She stole it. They figured it out, but they needed like the she had like the tax documents, and that's what they needed. Like they had fired her already. She was gone, but they kept in contact with her because they needed those tax documents, and she was like, "We need you to get them." And she's okay. We'll come to my hotel, the hotel that Selena ends up dying at. Selena goes there, and it turns out that Yolanda's like she lies. She goes, "I got raped." So she's like changing the subject, making it a big deal, so that stalling time because she doesn't have. I don't know if she doesn't have tax documents or what. So Selena's concerned, and so she calls the police, and the police come. They do a rape kit on her, and they tell her she wasn't raped. Like there's no sign of rape. And Selena's like, "What the fuck? What's going on?" And then that's when she freaks out, pulls out the gun, shoots Selena, and then Selena like runs, and she runs like so far around the hotel, and all this blood is like all on the fucking ground, and like basically there's a standoff with Yolanda and the police, but like Selena was like bleeding out, running, like she ran far, just bleeding out. About 3 times, I think, something like that. I don't know. I got some of that shit wrong, but it's they don't talk about that. Like how Yolanda was like a fucking
crazy.
a wacko. She's a
Hmm.
whack job. You know what I mean? Like whack job. So I would like to interview her.
Dude, I'm down to try to do something like that because that was an idea. Um, there's another idea of like interviewing homeless people. A little dangerous
Very dangerous.
because you don't really know
You
like
want to find the right homeless person.
yeah, well, in
Because I used
general.
to know homeless people. This is bar right here. I think I told you a story. There's this bar right here, and we used to go
Hmm.
there. One guy would only order water, but he was clean cut, clean clothes, nice haircut.
Hmm.
And I started talking to him. What's going? Just talking to him generally. And he was homeless. That's what he would do all day. Just sit at the bar drinking water. At night, he'd go sleep at a certain spot. But he knew the spots to get like haircuts. He knew the spot like free haircuts. He knew the spots to get like showers. He knew the spots to get like food stamps and shit. And it was like, what? And I was like, well, like he used to be in the Navy. That's how he came out. He's from New York. He's from the East Coast, but he was in the Navy out here and decided, fuck it, I just don't want to be part of society anymore. I don't want to do the normal thing.
Hmm.
And that's when I was like, what? You don't want to? He's like, no, dude, I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't understand that. But the more time goes on, I get it. I get it, but it's like I don't know if I could ever do that myself, but I get it. Like he's just frustrated with the system. You know what I mean? He just doesn't want to be part of it or whatever. But it'd be interesting to hear. I wish I could get in contact with him. That'd be crazy to interview him because he's probably still around here. But like that guy was like interesting.
Hmm.
I took him to dinner one time. I took him to Chili's one time for his birthday just to talk, and we just chopped it up. And it was the nicest guy, the nicest, sweetest guy you can ever meet. His name was Louis.
Hmm.
But like a schizophrenic was where he stabbed the fuck out of you.
That's what I mean. It's like you don't know
Right.
if you're gonna catch them on a good day or a bad day. But realistically, the prison one too would be the same, similar,
Right.
especially when you start getting into like the more violent crimes and stuff. I guess they would be chained up, but I don't know. That would be interesting though, because then you would get like, you're like, damn, this guy really is fucked, you know?
And I don't know. You never know if they'd be chained up. They could be dangerous, but not chained up. And just the lie, like the lack of lie, like people just I don't know the word. People just probably I don't know. You never know.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm sure some of them don't get visitors a lot, so I would assume. I mean, some of them are just batshit crazy, right? But I'm sure some of them have changed, maybe.
Or what if you ran into one that was like, I'm innocent. I'm innocent. I didn't do it. That'd
Yeah,
be
I mean,
very, very sad.
that's spicy. That's the
Right.
spicy content. Yeah, that would suck too. But it's just something to chew on.
I didn't do it. Solve my case. Help me. Help me.
It's like I'm not a lawyer, dude. I'm sorry.
But that'd be scary. Like, oh, dude.
They try to kill me.
I don't know, man. I like that shit, but I don't know. I don't know how far I would go with that. I'd probably do baby steps first because like one of the things that happened was that Del Taco by Santana High.
Hmm.
You're familiar with that one? Um, they there was a story one time where this was like right before the pandemic, I think, right before the pandemic, excuse me, where the manager shut down the store during lunch hours because I guess the kids at Santana were coming over and like harassing the employees. So he made it a point to like close the store at a certain time every day.
Hmm.
So when the kids were out, and that made headlines. I thought it was a very interesting story, and I would have loved to go down there and interview him. Like take all my stuff and just interview him on one of the Del Taco tables. Wow, the store was closed during those hours. Those 2 hours. And interview the manager and ask him like why, like what happened, because that's a noble thing to do. Like it's rare for a manager to stick up for his employees like that.
Hmm.
There was one time I used to work at Sam's Club, which is just like Costco. There was this one guy who would come in all the time, and he would harass the girls. He would like sexually harass the girls there, the young girls. Some of them were like, you know, very upset about it. And so one day when he came in, one of the managers walked up to him and asked to see his membership card. He's like, yeah, so, okay. And he cut it in half, said, don't ever fucking come here again. And like shit like that is like, that's ballsy. But like, that's also like, according to the company,
It's
like you're saying,
noble.
like it's noble, but the company's probably like, I don't do that, dude. Like the boss, his boss, like, nah, dude, that's the wrong move. You know what I mean, or whatever. So I'm wondering with this Del Taco guy, like, what was the pushback from corporate, if there was, and what made you stick up for your employees like this? Like, what was the line? What happened? And like, just talk about like because you don't hear that a lot of times. Like people would just be like, "Oh, let it go. Who
Hmm.
cares?" We were there with customer service all day, where we see those situations happen where it's like, dude, these people are acting too rowdy. You should have done something about this. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And like that's something that I would have was interested in interviewing that guy just for like an hour. Just I just wanted to pick your brain, just see what kind of person you are. Why, what pushback did you get? Just that typical shit of what got you in this business.
Hmm.
Just like that's something that I wanted to do, but I missed my opportunity already. But stuff like that, like investigative journalism type shit. And yeah, maybe it will lead to one day I'll do we can do a fucking a prisoner. That'd be fun. Or you know anything else you want to do.
I
It'd
mean,
be fun.
we got Las Colinas right there
Dude, we
in
have
Santee.
resources up the ass. So like, let me know. I can help you, or we can do it together, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, yeah. That's just, was ideas before the soccer one. Because like ultimately with mine, what I want to do, and I mean, there's content with this, and then, but like is um essentially have like an academy for like the less fortunate, essentially, and be able to like help them pay for, or maybe not even pay, but like just have them come to like the academy on a free or like payment basis that they can afford, versus like, the country, or in the US you pay to play. So really the only ones that are playing like high quality soccer are the ones that have money or extra money to spend. And if you look at other countries, all the great players have like the stories of coming from like struggling, and they have to like play to eat and shit like that, and that's how you get the good players. So if I could start an academy to help them, the ones that can't afford it, because like when growing up, my mom, I had talked to my mom why she never put me in soccer, because I started playing when I was a little bit older, and she said she couldn't afford it, and
Mm,
she wasn't aware of programs that helped pay. And I don't even know if there might be,
I don't
but
think so. No, I don't
yeah,
think so.
because even AYSO, like, you still
No,
have to
there's not.
pay.
Yeah, there's not. I've been in AY, so that I've never heard of that. Never. So
Yeah,
basically, like you're saying, for kids, pay to play.
yeah. So
It's the
kids
kid version.
that are passionate about the sport, but they can't afford it because their parents have like multiple kids, or for whatever reason, doesn't matter. Um, I want to use the platform eventually, if once it gets big, to start something like that.
Well, that's nice. That's really nice. That's perfect. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Because even like my dad was an AYSO coach
Hmm.
for a while, and there was times when like uh we'd be at the game. This was like payphone days, and he'd run to a payphone like, "Where's like some kids weren't there." He's like, "Why?" He called the house like, "Why aren't you here?" And then oh, my parents aren't home. I can't get a ride. I don't have a ride. So he would go pick them up. He would
That's what I
pick all
mean.
these fucking kids up. You know what I mean? Like parents who didn't care or didn't couldn't afford to drive them there or whatever.
Yeah, have like a bus go pick them up every day at a
Yes.
certain
Oh
time.
yeah. And that was his thing. Like he wanted to make it as even as possible because he didn't like a lot of the kids were good, but you know, sometimes they just couldn't afford it.
Hmm.
Like you're saying, exactly what
That's
you're saying.
that's how you find the goats,
Right.
a diamond in the rough, and that little boost can affect their life forever, even if they don't play soccer professionally. Just the fact that growing up they had that uh help could boost them further.
Damn, dude. That's actually a really, really good idea.
It's
Really
yeah,
good idea.
that's that's the bigger picture. But I gotta, get off the ground first. Started off with 19 from the old podcast, and now I have 66 on YouTube. So, the ball's rolling.
There you go. That's what's up.
It's exciting. Because even like I was listening to a podcast about it, you know, comparisons, the killer of joy. And we're always comparing ourselves to everybody, right?
Right.
But if like I had a couple of my shorts on YouTube get like 1,000 views, or one of them actually got like close to 5,000, and like I should be excited, right? But then I'm like in my head, I'm like, well, there's people that have like millions of views or whatever. And on this podcast, he's like, so what's viral to you might be not viral for someone else, but you should celebrate those videos. Because if you're only getting like 30 views, or like 60 views, on average, and then all of a sudden you get one that goes for 2,000 or 3,000, that's definitely something to be happy about, celebrate about, because it's viral for you. So celebrate the small wins, and don't compare yourself to anybody. Or how they say, stay in your lane or whatever.
Right.
But not in a bad way. Just don't try not to compare yourself to everybody else, because that's how a lot of people quit, because they just see like the top so unattainable.
Wow. What was that one that made that went viral for you? What video was that?
Uh, there's a few, but the main one was Brazilian Ronaldo, and I just tagged Ronaldo and then like Brazil or something like that, and maybe two other things, and it like I woke up in the morning and I'm just like, I had to like, you know rub my eyes, and I'm like, 5,000, bro, what the hell? Like I didn't want to like freak out. I was pretty
Damn.
stoked. I was pretty stoked. That's a good way to start the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Five
So
thousand views.
yeah. And it's like, even if you're getting like 200, 100, whatever, like, dude, that's fucking crazy. 100 people have seen that video that you took however long to make. Even if it's 30 people listened to your shit or watched your video.
Right.
And like, those are the kind of things you got to look at, and you're like, that's fucking 30 more than somebody that's like dreaming about starting something.
And it grows. Like
Yeah,
if you like you say, that's a fact. It grows. If you keep being consistent, it grows.
it starts. Yeah. And once that ball starts to go, the algorithm starts to feed you more people that are watching the same or similar content.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it grows. That shit grows.
I know last time we spoke, we were talking about like keeping each other motivated and stuff. And that was like, what, a year and some change. But definitely, um, this one, because I haven't done a podcast for like 8 months now. It's definitely lit a fire in my ass again. Just feeling, the mic in front of me and the camera in front of me.
Good.
Definitely made a little bit of more motivated to start the other one again.
Good, man. Good.
So I appreciate it.
Oh man, thank you. Thank you for doing this. I mean, because honestly, dude, with you, I really think that you're a very good personality. You're very good, you have very good personality. And I think
Mm,
that's what it is, That's why you got those 5,000 views.
yeah,
So you just got to keep with it. Just be out there. And like you said, you'll find people. Just be consistent. Be consistent. Even if like sometimes I don't post. Sometimes you don't post or you haven't posted in a while, but like just
hmm,
keep it consistent. Keep people knowing that you're there and you'll get people, man. You'll
yeah.
get you'll
I'm
get a following. That's yeah. And I'm always changing it up, man. I'm always changing it up because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I just change it up a little bit and just try this out, experiment, and sometimes it works, and it doesn't. I'm always constantly, even going back. I need to go back and change. Like I want to go back to all my episodes and like remaster them, like mix them better.
Hmm.
And I plan on doing that eventually, but that's a lot of work. So
Oh hell
even
yeah.
then, I might not even do it. But it's something I think about often. It's a piece of art for me, like my piece of art, like you're saying, like it's a growth, and I want people to
Yeah.
hear it. But should just leave it, but I don't know. But that's just
Nah,
something
dude,
for me,
just leave it, man.
right? That's an idea. Just leave it and let it be. But ultimately, it's like sometimes I go back and try to listen to them to like learn from them, and it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck am I listening to, dude? Like I fucked that up.
Have you ever gone back to the like very first episodes of Rogan, like when
Yeah,
he was on Ustream or whatever?
yeah,
Dude, they were horrible.
yeah. They were
It was fun to watch like at the time that you're watching it, but it's like they just progressively get more fucked up throughout the episode and then they're just like talking about random shit. There's no structure. And now, like, 10 years later, the dude is like, getting crazy people on there. Obviously, he's a comedian and, he has like a bigger platform, but I mean, at the time that he started it, I mean, he was the Fear Factor guy. He was known as the Fear Factor guy. So it wasn't like, and he said it before, like I I wasn't making much money from them. I was doing comedy shows here and there. So, and that was kind of what took him off. So, and like those episodes are pretty bad. Even like the ones when he started doing it on YouTube, those ones are pretty bad. I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised that he hasn't got canceled for some of this stuff. Like
you're right,
now that I've heard like some of the jokes from the older episodes from like especially like with Joey Diaz and shit.
right. And that's what I worry about too with me, because there's the episode I did where we talk about how bad the R word is, retarded,
Hmm.
and the whole time we're saying it, like we're just saying it, but
Hmm.
we're not saying it like we're talking saying something bad to each other, but we're talking about the actual meaning of it. And it's like a whole episode, and I'm thinking like, fuck, bro, in 10 years it's gonna haunt me, you know? Like we're
Dude, it's
like
just a
I'm
word.
constantly saying the R word, like we're just saying it over and over and over again.
It's just a word.
Yeah, but in 10 years, what is it gonna be? You know what I mean?
Eh,
Like I'm just
eh,
worried about that,
true.
like what how bad is it gonna be in 10 years that we're
Yeah.
saying the R word?
And it's not like a derogatory word like, the F word.
Well, I mean, like there's no like that's something that's crazy about the R word is like there's no proper way to say it. There's no like real nice way or even like a legitimate way to say it. It's just a throwaway word. You cannot say that word. You
Hmm.
shouldn't say that word. There's no way. Just like the midget. You can't say midget anymore. That's not a word. I mean that's a word. You could say it, but you're not supposed to say it. So basically, there's no use for that word. So that's a word you should definitely forget from your vocabulary.
Bro, little person sounds so much worse.
Right, but remember when we were kids, that was recently. Like a little person's recent, maybe like the last
Yeah.
10 years. But like midget was the word for so many years. But that's a word that's been in our brain. But now that there's no legitimate way to say that word, so it's
Yeah.
it's a throwaway word, just like retarded.
Uh,
The F word, not Fuck, but
yeah.
Faggot.
Yeah.
Like there's
Maggot. Yeah.
there's no way to say that word, so you don't say it. Like there's
Hmm.
just people need to learn that those are the three words that I could think of right now that you need to just forget about. Forget them they even exist because there's no way to use them. Like there's no proper way to use them, which is crazy because we used to use those words all the time growing up.
Even the
It's
saying
crazy
the
to say
word
that.
gay,
Gay's another one. Like it's like
like
crazy to say that. Like these were words we used to use that you can never use anymore.
oh, that's gay. But saying it
Never use
like
those words.
it's not even like in a derogatory sense. It's like, oh, it's gay.
Yeah, can't say it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting as
It's
fuck.
pretty wild, right?
Right. Anyways, but that's my point is like we were using that word and I was like, but at the same time, it's like, fuck it. We were talking about not using it. That was the point of we weren't
Yeah.
saying
In
it like, oh,
context. Yeah. Yeah.
retarded people, ha ha ha. We're talking about like, you know,
In
we used to say,
context.
yeah, that's definitely in context.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Nowadays, it's
Well,
like,
at the same time, I was like, I saw a Joe Rogan clip where he's using the N word in context, but still, it's like, dude, you don't use that word. You don't use that word.
yeah. I mean, that's
Unacceptable.
fair. It's fair.
So that's why
Was
I'm worried about it. Like, because he recently got hit up with that.
that and well, because he made a joke about Planet of the Apes or like walking into like a
That's right.
theater
That's right. I
and
remember that. Yeah, that
yeah,
was it. That was another one, which is like, yeah, bad joke. It's a bad joke.
it's a bad joke. And he even said like, back then it was different. Like the joke, it's I guess not more acceptable, but it was like if you watch Dan, what's his name? Don Rickles. Yeah, Don Rickles in like that era, like Frank Sinatra, Don Rickles, Ronnie Dangerfield, like the OGs of comedy,
Yeah.
like OGs back in the day. They'll do roasts and stuff, and like, dude, I'll watch it, and like Don Rickles is straight up like now it's like that's kind of racist, like talking about their lips and all this other stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
dude, what's his name? Uh, he was like the Dave Chappelle before Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor. Um, he's like dying, dude, like dying of laughter, just like in tears, laughing. So, and obviously everybody else is laughing too. So, but nowadays, like you say those kinds of jokes, it's like, you know,
Right. And to be fair, Richard Pryor he was a weird dude, anyways.
yeah,
Like he gave Chevy Chase the pass to say the N word,
uh-huh.
which is like it's irrelevant now. Like if Chevy Chase uses the N word, it's like nah, bro. Like we're not. I don't give a fuck who let you say it. It sounds weird for a fucking 7-year-old motherfucker to be saying the N word.
Yeah, for sure. But like, those back in those days, it's like they were saying like, what would be in context. And realistically, maybe it was racist back then too, but it was in like a joking manner, so it was kind of funny.
Well, yeah, it was definitely things change. I just feel like that Joe Rogan joke about Planet of the Apes.
Hmm.
It's all about um, I don't know the word fucked up. I think if a black person said it, it would have been yeah, it would have been funny as fuck. But
Hmm.
because Joe Rogan said it, it was like like if Chris Rock would have said that joke, it would have been fucking hilarious. Or if Dave Chappelle would have said that, it would have been a fucking funny joke. But the fact that it's kind of like the N word. Just the fact that Joe Rogan said it, it was like, ugh,
Yeah,
like
there's
like weird.
I went to a comedy show, Bad Friends podcast. They had
You
a
went to
com
that?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was, dude, I was like legitimately in tears almost the whole time. But like obviously like they joke around with racism a lot
Mm-hmm.
and it's fucking hilarious, dude. And everyone's laughing. Like black people are laughing, Mexicans, Asians, dude, white people, doesn't matter. No one's
They
safe.
I love Bad Friends. They know the line. They know the line, and I don't know how they do it because one of the things that Santino does all the time is the Asian accent,
Oh,
and people get dinged for that. But for some reason, when Santino does it, it's like
it's
it's
because he's a
funny.
ginger.
It's funny.
He's a
It's
minority.
so funny. Yeah, yeah, maybe
It's
because,
because he's a ginger.
but it's so fucking funny when he does it. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, I
And
don't know if I should be laughing, but it's funny. Like, you know
oh,
what I mean?
dude, I mean, it's like, dude, if this is how I look at it, right? Racism in a bad context or derogatory sense is fucked up, right? I mean, it's just plain and simple. But in the comedy, like I guess comedy environment, I guess the point is to laugh. So whether it's a shock laugh or you're laugh because like that was actually kind of funny, you're already laughing. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
I don't want to use the word safe space, I guess, but I guess that might be the best word for it. Where it's like, dude, you gotta have a sense of humor, man. It's like if I like, someone said like they said something about Mexicans and like there was people around me that were Mexican, I'm assuming, and they didn't laugh. Like, bro, how are you gonna go to a comedy show and not laugh?
And that's something too. When people get offended at a comedy show, that's something that gets me. Is like, well, you're at a comedy show, you should know better. Like if you're on the street, it's different. If
Yeah,
someone's pulling that shit on the street, okay, you have the right to be offended. But if you're at a comedy show, come on, dude. Like just be a sport and laugh, or just walk away, leave.
I was dying,
Yeah,
dude. It's funny shit. Because
it's
they
awesome.
were they were saying jokes about everybody. It was good, dude.
How did it go? Like, was it like did each of them do a set?
So it was we got there kind of late, but we got there when Bobby Lee got up, and then Santino did a set, and then they had like essentially like a mini Bad Friends episode where they did like trivia, and then they had like a dating show for Bobby, and he got to make out with like there's some questionable girls that were there, but two of them were kind of hot, or as Dr. Dre would say, they were pokeable. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was it was interesting.
And so
It's cool.
they each did a set, and then they did like the Bad Friends thing, or
They had like
did Bobby
the
Lee do a
back
set?
Bobby Lee and then Santino. There was two other people that opened up for him. I didn't get to hear him because I was in the line for a beer. And then they did like it had like the backdrop for Bad Friends and stuff. And then they did like essentially it was like a small little episode. It's cool.
Damn, that sounds fun. I
It's
really wanted to
definitely
go to see that, but we had to go to my wife's uncle's birthday. Turned 70, so we
that's a
went
big
over
deal.
there and
Yeah.
did that instead.
I
I
was gonna
really
go to
want to
the
go.
I was gonna go to the Mexico game, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. They tied, so I would have been upset.
Where were they playing?
Uh, Cameroon, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You were
That
gonna go win. Oh,
uh that
that same
that
night.
yeah, they played at Snapdragon.
Gotcha.
I live like
Cool.
no joke, like two exits down from Snapdragon.
Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah.
It
Off
sucks because
down to 15.
yeah, it sucks because no Ubers want to fucking give us an Uber ride
Why not?
because it's like two freeways down.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude, I go to the fucking like the village. It's like right here. I always take an Uber there, and I mean, I never thought of it. Maybe they are mad at me. Like, fuck this guy. It's
yeah,
like
because
right
it's like
here.
it's literally like not even 5 minutes. It's like, oh, you're gonna make me come pick you up. I'm gonna drive further to pick you up just to fucking drop you off for $5.
Did they tell
Fuck
you
that.
that? How do you know that?
They don't know that, but like I eavesdrop on some of them do tell me, to be fair, but like I'll see them like you'll hear like a noise on their phone, and then you'll see that it says like a price on there, and they can press like a button and it'll either accept or go to the next Uber.
Hmm.
And it's like some of them are very picky. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking go for less than $10. And some of them aren't. So the ones that pick you up after like 2 or 3 minutes of not getting an Uber ride, it's like those are the ones that aren't picky. And those are the ones that say, I'll be like, yeah, thanks for picking us up. They're like, oh yeah, no worries. He's like, I ain't gonna say no to money. So I don't know how people say no to money. So
Right.
that's the mentality sometimes.
Right. That's funny. Fucking Uber drivers. I used to do Uber Eats. That shit was
Uh-huh.
gnarly. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to head out of here.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
Sorry, it's getting too late for me.
It is
Um,
no, it's late for sure.
Gotta get the kids in the morning. But thank you for this. I really appreciate you. You've really opened up my horizons on podcasting.
Mhm.
Like, because I've always thought about these weird fucking ideas. And it's crazy that you're not the first person. Someone at my wife's uncle's uh, birthday party was telling me one of her cousins was like, I watch your podcast. What if you tried this? And it's like, yeah, dude, like what he's talking about is like organic. It's organically happening already. Like it's what I told you. He's like, what if you just left a long, like you didn't cut anything? plate of fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could see there's no cuts. And I'm like, it's getting to that. It's really fucking getting to that to where it's like at first I would cut everything. Now it's like I'll cut less. And now I'm cutting even less, like with these podcasts that I'm doing now. It's like I'm just kind of like
You're
it's
getting good
all
at it, dude.
it's all fucking just coming into place, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. But I mean, I feel like it's just like less of me talking. I just shut the fuck up and let you talk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, you ask the right questions at the right time. That's important.
And we gotta we gotta do this sooner than later. Keep it up because this is it's been over a year since we did this, and we can't do that. We can't let that happen again.
Oh no, for sure, dude.
No.
Especially now that I feel like I'll get the ball rolling again. So then I'll just kind of keep on seeing where you're at.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm always down.
Yeah. Great. We'll figure it out. We'll do it some more. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
man.
you, man.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much. Have a good night, and see you soon tomorrow.
I'm
I
off.
work Saturday.
Yeah, I'm Saturday.
See you Saturday.
Later, brother.
Later, dude. Take care.